Progressive rockular music on an epic scale. Epic storytelling. Epic riffs, drums, bass, keyboards, etc. Epic sound production and whatnot. Epic hair. Claudio does have a fine mane. Coheed and Cambria are back with album number 9, Vaxis-Act 1. Act 1, Unheavenly Creatures. Quick apology for the lack of videos lately. Never apologise, never explain. This is the band's 9th studio album and the follow-up to 2015's The Colour and the Sun. And this album continues the concept of the Armoury Wars, of which I have absolutely no idea. I've been very much looking forward to doing a review for this album because Coheed and Cambria are one of those bands I've never got into. No real reason for. I love progressive music. They're clearly very, very accomplished musicians, know exactly what they're doing, great songwriters, but for whatever reason, I've just not got into them. So it was nice to be able to do this review, and could this be the one that gets me into the band? Probably. Now, I'm not familiar at all with the concept of the Armoury Wars, but by all accounts, the cover of the album, Unheavenly Creatures, that we're talking about today, hence the intro of Unheavenly Creatures, depicts a scene inside the Dark Sentencer, which is one of the tracks on the album, which is supposedly a prison planet. And the two people that you see on the cover are our heroes who are trying to escape. I think that's what it's about. The two characters being Creature and Sister Spider. Now, this album marks Act 1 of the Vaxis storyline of the Armoury Wars, and there's supposedly going to be 5 acts, so there's going to be another 4 albums covering this storyline. The Armoury Wars is a comic book that they've put out as well, written by Claudio and his wife, maybe, I want to say. And I know on the special edition vinyl version of this album, there's an 80-page comic book that accompanies it, which I guess explains the story in more depth. I'm not going to focus so much on the story today, more as the songs, as I normally do, because, as always, I urge you to go and check this album out yourself. Make your own mind up. I can't hold your hand through life. Sever the umbilical cord. We got 15 songs to get through, and we are losing light fast, so let's get straight into it. Prologue. We get a little burst of piano before some narration, bringing us into the tale. Know now there is no time. Space. Between the well and unknowing. Our story starts there. Well into our future, yet far beyond our past. In a romance between a pair of unheavenly creatures. That's the title of the album. All of this builds to the revelation that we are in the Dark Sentencer, which happens to be track 2. Track 2 is the Dark Sentencer. Next. This song kicks things off proper. We have basically a 7.5 minute real epic opener with our two main characters trying to escape the prison planet, the Dark Sentencer. Right from the very beginning of this, there are strong vibes of 2112, of course, the Rush classic concept album. That idea of the individual against the masses, although this time it's two individuals, but they're still individuals. Aren't we all individuals? Do any of us have anyone, really? I said earlier that I've always found Coheed a little difficult to get into, and I think it's probably Claudio's vocals. It's of a pitch that I find, for me personally, to be a bit of a refined taste. But I have to say, this song in particular, the more I've listened to it, the more it's grown on me. I've really kind of learned to take it for what it is and how it sits with the music, and that's actually, after a while, I've actually found it to be quite pleasing. Like all good prog as well, it takes you on a journey, lots of highs and lows, dynamics, a real tale to be told. It's a shame, I fear, for men to start. We walk their lines, all to play the fucking part. Great start to an album. Next up, we have the title track itself, Unheavenly Creatures. And this song in particular, I think, is a great example of the awesome choruses that pepper this album. Full of them, hence why I said peppered. I fear, my dear, the end is here. So run, 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 like a son of a gun. So much packed into every single one of these songs. The musicianship is absolutely stellar. It's all on point. Sounds fantastic. Huge. Epic. I keep saying epic. Epic prog of an epic nature. I do like me a nice progressive rockular concept album. The light begins to fade. Next track is Toys, a slow build on this 6.5 minute tune. Some really great riffs on this song. There's an awesome solo as well. Awesome solo. Awesome solo. And again, a fantastic chorus. All apologies won't make things right for you tonight. Can't you see you're dragging me? I'm your favourite toy. Oh, I'm so sorry, but make up your mind. We're out of time. Oh, mama, please. I'm on my knees. I'm your favourite boy. Don't know what sort of kinky shit this one's about. Next up, we have Black Sunday. Huge power chords and an eastern tinge brings us into this track. Black Sunday. Black Sunday. Black Sunday. Could you not have maybe chose some other lyrics to recite? No. Great tune. Next up, Queen of the Dark, which is rather apt as it's getting dark now. We get another piano-led intro that builds into a slower paced tune just to sort of separate things a bit, just to change things up a little bit. Really enjoyed this track. When the lights went out, there was no Queen of the Dark. Queen of the Dark, Queen of the Dark, Queen of the Dark. I'm not going to use the same joke. One of my favourite tracks thus far. Really enjoyed this one. Next up we have True Ugly, and we go straight back into more traditional prog rock territory on this one with some more intricate shit going on in all sorts of places. Drummer Josh Eppard really driving this song along with some heavy snare hits. I do like a nice snare hit. Oh, show me your true ugly. The stranger you move, the sweeter you become. Now show me the good you've done. Show me the animal. I couldn't be bothered doing much there. Another nice tune. I'm going to speed things up a little bit because otherwise we'll be here all fucking day and none of you want that, do you? Fuck you then. Love Protocol is up next. Glorious chorus on this one with some great riffs and some interesting time signatures. After that we get The Pavilion, A Long Way Back, in brackets that was the last bit. This one had an opening riff that reminded me a bit of Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Cheers for Fears. Cheers for Fears. That ended up building into a really driving song that had elements of strings added to it as well to really kind of up the atmosphere and... Hang on, it's clear that the road's about to get rough. Next up we have the aptly named for this time, Nighttime Walkers. I haven't really mentioned the keyboards on this album, but there are some. Seriously, the comparisons to 2112 are all over the album, going right from the rise from oppression to the use of keyboards. Cool tune. There's a shitload of burning going on. Can you see this? They're burning things in fields. What heresy is this? I think it's time to head back to the car. Next up we have The Gutter. Again, another one that I really enjoyed. Started out very sparsely before morphing into one of the heavier songs on the album, with Claudio spitting, beaten and covered in a red so bloody. Huge sounding chorus yet again, and there were some nods to Queen on this I found in some of the harmony sections. As a Queen fan, I got no problem with that. This for me was one of the highlights on the album. Fantastic tune. Another appropriate one, All on Fire. I don't know if you can see it, but there are things on fire over there. What is going on? Should I go over? Should I approach? Or should I just go home like a good boy? Some real great metal riffage on this one. We'll soon find out who we are, alone in the dark. These broken hearts and promises that always fade and never start have come apart. Next up, It Walks Among Us. A real space feel to this one. The whole album does, to be fair. A real space vibe in the instrumentation on this one. I really enjoyed the lyrics on this one. A bad guy. Motherfucker. Don't want to hate or love you. Creature, come and get it. Creature, come and get it. Creature's coming. Infected. Don't provoke 'em. Feel free to lock and load 'em. Creature, come and get it. Creature, come and get it. Cool tune. Next up we have Old Flames. And I guess this is a reference to the couple. Was it Creature and... Sister Spacek. I've only just put two and two together that the creature referred to in the last song was one of the main people in the fucking story. So yes, that makes sense now. Another comparison that I did find throughout the album, and on this song in particular, was there was a My Chemical Romance kind of vibe going on, the Black Parade sort of style. Maybe it's in the vocals that I'm finding it, maybe. That high-pitched, nasally whinge singing. We all go up in flames, going out in style, and heaven help us if they'd ever let us live for just a little while. Yeah. And finally we have the last track, Lucky Stars, and this one we get a lovely acoustic ballad to see us out. This could be the biggest mistake we make in this life, chasing as we try to compete for each other's time. From the world we locked ourselves inside, in a place to keep us safe from all to see. They can't hide you from me. Sounds a bit stalkerish to me. This was a decent enough closer to the album, and one that keeps us eagerly anticipating and expecting Act 2. I'm not sure when that's going to be coming out, but sounds like the band have got a very clear idea of where they want to go with it, so yeah. I don't know if you can see me. In terms of a score, I'd give this an 8 out of 10. Great story, Great musicianship. Love some of the riffs, loves the ebbs and flows. Had a great cohesive feel to it. Real sense of storytelling in this, and as I said earlier, kind of makes you anticipate and look forward to Act 2, see where they go with it. Coheed and Cambria, like I said, they're a band that I've kind of tried getting into a few times and never really invested the time, but this has definitely intrigued me, and I can see why they're so revered. And yeah, just God's sake, how many times can I say it? It's a good album. So what have we coming up next? Well, despite not doing much last week, you're going to get pretty fucking sick of me by the end of this week, because there's a hell of a lot of albums I'm going to be reviewing. Next one should be Behemoth. I Loved You at Your Darkest. I should have that one out tomorrow or later on today, I don't know. High on Fire, Electric Messiah. That rhymes. God, I love some High on Fire. Going to be reviewing that album without a shadow of a doubt. I might take a look at 21 Pilots, this indie hip-hop thing that I hear so many people talking about. Maybe I'll take a look at that. Author and Punisher has a new album out. Love that guy. Absolutely awesome. Industrial tinged metal. Who else is there? Windhand. Yeah, Windhand, stoner metal. Plus we've got the new Monuments album. Is there something else I'm missing as well? I thought there was about 8 odd albums this week. Anyway, it's a ridiculous amount. As the last of this light ebbs away, so shall I. Well, I'm gonna go back to the car.